Let's find out what our chartists have to say. Dr. C.K. Narayan as well as Kunal Bothra joining in this morning. Good morning, gentlemen. A start to a brand new week. What are the indications that you're getting on the index, given the kind of cues that the global markets are throwing up, Dr. Narayan? And, what would be the strategy largely in terms of your individual stocks?
Good morning, Aman. Good morning, everybody. Well, last week really ended pretty well and, extended the gains made in the August series, and we continue in that vein, I believe, as we start a new week. Over the past several days, I have been remaining steadfastly bullish on the Bank Nifty compared to the Nifty, more so than the Nifty, that is. And that situation does not seem to have changed very much, because if you look at the derivatives data, then you will find that there has been aggressive addition to near the money puts, that is 24,000, and there has been strong short covering of the 24,000 calls. In fact, that happened aggressively on Friday, sending the Bank Nifty higher, and now we find that the call contracts are actually getting bought into at the current levels, and even one step higher at about 25,000 strike level too. So I would believe that the Bank Nifty continues to proffer much better trading prospects compared to the Nifty. Not that the Nifty is in any way hampered in this up move. That also continues with similar evidences, build up of good shorts near the money, and no real meaningful addition to the call. So market men, particularly option traders, who are the more savvier bunch in this market, and I think they are all playing for an upside. So I do believe that the rise in the market ought to continue, and 11,800 and about 25,200 are the two targets that I am making for the Nifty and the Bank Nifty during this week. Now, coming to the individual stocks, given a bullish background, two buy calls. First up, buy from the tech side, which is NIT Tech, now renamed as Coforge. The Coforge is a buy with a stop at 2080, targeting 2200. Second is a buy from the banking space. Kotak Bank can be bought for a target 1490, stop loss 1450.
Okay. Let's connect with Kunal Bothra as well. Kunal, what are you going in with? What are the important levels to track for the markets given the stellar up move that we've witnessed so far? And what are you working with by way of top ideas?
Good morning, Avan. I agree with the assessment from CK as well. Markets are into a strong uptrend. Bank Nifty has been I would say, a showstopper for the markets this month, this series, and this comeback which you're seeing on the Bank Nifty. So both on the private sector as well as on the PSU banking front, I think it's been a very strong and notable comeback. Many of the components of Bank Nifty are now nudging towards or in touching distance towards breaking their 200 moving averages as well. So I think that's going to be one very important feature to try and play and continue to ride the momentum into these kind of names. In terms of levels now, when you look at the options data and the options positioning, I think now 11,800 and 12,000, these are the only two strikes on the call options for the September series, where there should be there seems to be increased amount of OI built up, which means that the first hurdle for the markets is 11,800, and beyond that it's straight at 12,000 levels for the Nifty. So I think the chances of the Nifty heading towards that 12,000 mark for this series could be pretty much on the higher side. 11,500 is now an important support zone. I believe that that's a key support level which a short-term trader, at least for the next couple of weeks of this series, should be watching out for. So I think that's likely going to be the range for the Nifty for this series. Now in that regards, I would suggest a couple of buy calls, and the first one is from the PSU banking pack. I think last week I'd given a buy on SBI. Today I believe many of these other PSU banking stocks could probably try and push up more higher from current levels. Bank of India is the first recommendation which I would pick up the stock, trading above its 200 moving average. That's a very important signal for the stocks out of the PSU banking pack and the few ones which are in the FNO space as well. Bank of India seems to be the only few stocks which is above its 200-day moving average. So that's a very strong positive for this chart as well. Would suggest a buy for an immediate target of close to 57, and stop loss could be kept at 49. The second would be a buy, and that would be on Adani Ports. Now this is a large cap name. Interestingly, the stock had remained more sideways and in a slight of a downward drift to a range bound action for the last 1.5 or 2 months. But off late, you've seen a very good pickup into the stock price. I think on Friday, if I'm not wrong, the stock was up 2.5%, and it managed to close at 360 odd levels. So I think this could be an interesting buy on the large cap front as well. Would suggest a buy for a target of 375 and stop us at 353.